Ready Check Radio.
Stand by as we get ready to serve up all your news this week in the world of gaming. Welcome to Gaming Gumbo. What's up, Internet? It's Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. That means it's time for another episode of Gaming Gumbo, your weekly gaming wrap-up show here on Ready Check Radio. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, as always, and we've got a lot of stuff to cover. A lot of new releases this week, some of which we'll actually be playing and have played. I know. Settle down. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Spotify, head on over to ReadyCheckRadio.com, RAIDEO. Click on those socials in the upper right-hand corner. Give us a follow, a subscription, turn on those notifications, do all that stuff, and tell your friends too. If you like what we do, that's the best way you can support us, to let us know you'd like us to keep doing more of this stuff, this crazy stuff. We're doing the show live, as we always do, Saturday, 7 p.m., twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio. Chat is with us, ready to chime in on a bunch of things, and so is Mr. Jason Winter. How are you, sir?
So today is a very special anniversary for me.
Oh, okay. So you and your partner, right? Typical anniversary? No, not that one. Okay. Not an anniversary at MMO Bomb.
No.
Certainly not your anniversary here. We haven't hit 1 year yet, so
No.
I'm out of guesses.
Today, 10 years ago today, was my first Twemo, my first podcast of any kind.
Wow.
June 26, 2011.
Wow.
I thought about it like earlier this week. I was like, that was like late June that year, wasn't it? So I go back, I look through my old emails, just my sent emails. The incoming gets deleted, irregularly. But I looked at my sents, I was able to find some early communication, and one of the responses was Twemo June 26th. So Sunday night it was, apparently.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, I've been doing this crap ever since. I'm still doing it. I do it till I die. Oh, God.
Also on the line, resident artist of Ready Check Radio, Yod. How are you, sir?
I'm hanging in there, pretty well. Sounds like it's been a long time.
Someday you'll be an old bitter man like me, Yod.
It's been a minute since I heard the name Twemo.
Yeah, definitely. I liked doing Twemo. I really liked Twemo. Kind of challenging sometimes to come up with news, but it was...
It's challenging sometimes to show up on time. But,
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that was just kind of like a game breaker thing. As far as...
I never even really got why it was called Twemo.
This week in MMO.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, Q, I was always on time.
Oh, we were always on time.
It was Monsieur Gary who was quite often not on time. Yeah. Man, yeah. Oh, Twemo. Good stuff. Well, we're going to talk about general gaming, and we will have some MMO stuff coming up. We have talked MMOs on this show before, and we will again. We got Sword of Legends.
Sword of Legends Online.
Yeah. That's
Solo.
launching soon.
Now, you know why it's called Solo, Yod?
Why is it called Solo?
You know what called the FBI? Anyway.
And then, of course, we have New World coming out in August, so we've got some high-profile MMOs coming out that won't be swallowed up by Snowbound, the Blizzard podcast on Tuesday, or the Relic Grind, the Square Enix podcast on Thursday. So, of course, they will come here. We've talked about both of them before. And, next 2 months, a little exciting on the MMO front. But this last week has been a little weird, and honestly, if you've been following what we're going to talk about first, this has been going on for a while now. It's just kind of culminated lately. So we've been talking a lot about in the past on how it was leaked, Jason, that they were going to be Silent Hill type announcements in E3, and then obviously that didn't happen. Prior to that, there were thoughts that the Game Awards, there was going to be talk of Silent Hill development there. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen. So there's been some leaks that have kept Silent Hill in the news. The speculation behind the scenes leading through all that was that Kojima Productions was involved again after having left Konami and having Silent Hills canceled, and that Sony was kind of playing mediator between Konami and Kojima Productions to make it happen. And that was all like well and good. But as you kept going forward, another company kind of entered the fray. And now, depending on how much of a conspiracy theorist you are, they may actually be a legitimate company working on a totally unrelated title, or they're a front for Kojima Productions working on Silent Hill. And that has kind of been the speculation that's been going wild for a few weeks now, fueled by some smaller things that have been happening for the last few months. So if you don't know about Abandoned, that is an upcoming indie horror game for the PlayStation 5 being developed by a company called Blue Box Game Studios. All right, so there's that. We've seen some teaser trailers and stuff like that. We were supposed to get a trailer app demo. Yeah, get your tinfoil hats ready here. We were supposed to see that yesterday. It ended up getting delayed until August. So before we kind of take this chronologically, because if Blue Box is indeed its own independent company, I don't think they've done themselves any favors with some of the actions they have taken along this whole hype train. Jason, how do you feel about this whole situation on Silent Hill itself? Weeks and months of speculation, no announcement yet, but it's still going on.
How do I feel about the game as a whole, or just the connection to Blue Box?
Kind of both. And we're going to go through the specific Blue Box stuff, so just your general overtones right now.
I mean, I've never played. I think I played a little bit of like the first Silent Hill back on PS1 or something like that, but it's never been a series I followed intensely. So I wasn't really aware of much of anything until I actually saw earlier this week. We're going to talk about a tweet about the guy saying I'm real. I saw that come up on my Twitter board, and I was like, "What the heck is this crap?" And then I see the notes you're talking about it in the Gaming Gumbo notes, and I'm like, "What? Come on!" So I look into it, and I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." And then I look at some of the stuff, I'm like, "Well."
All right, now don't go any further, because we are going to cap this off with what each of us thinks is going on. Just want to get your initial impressions here, Jan.
That's my initial impression was, well.
So first of all, do we have a cork board?
Right.
With all the pictures.
Get out the yarn.
And yarn and the pins, going all over the place. We need one of those.
We do not, but I'll show you somewhere that there's plenty of room to hang a cork board.
Okay.
Right behind that guy, right there.
Right. Personally, I played the first game way back when, and I didn't have a save card at the time. I was in college, and I was renting out this house in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where the walls didn't really meet the floors. So, it's a little bit of a creepy house.
So
I had
you
to play
lived
the game.
in Silent Hill.
Exactly. That sounds like a horror game all by itself, right there.
Exactly. So it was a fun experience there. I kept tabs on the games. I liked the story that they weave through all of it. Watched both of the movies. The first one of which was really messed up. My friend and I that watched it, we watched it late at night, and afterwards we had to watch the 40-year-old virgin to get it out of our brains before we could go to bed.
She said 40, by the way, guys, not 4.
Yes, 40. 40. But I'm not one to go and seek out little rumors and little tidbits hoping to get something. If it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All
right, so without getting into your final thoughts on this,
right?
What do you think of the whole shebang so far? And we're going to take our viewers step by step through it in a second here, but just your general thoughts.
I think there's a lot of people out there with a lot of time on their hands. And yeah.
So you're yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I'm just gonna drink my water.
Jason
Let's
just goes,
keep going.
well,
Well.
and Yad finishes it up with, yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course, we've got this from Mad Martha. Thank you, Mad Martha, so that we can properly discuss what we're
Just
talking
move
about.
my camera on top of that there. Yeah.
Right, so we can properly discuss what we're talking about here. So, okay. This all started, let's say June 9th-ish. Now, there were already the rumors and the leaks that never happened. But Hideo Kojima tweets on June 9th a picture of 2 books that he, I guess, is reading or whatever. And the tweet reads, "Thanks, Harper Books. The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter, the latest in the Will Trent series. The last window was kidnapping action." I'm going to assume that that's a translation thing. And then there's Joe Hill's story, short story, Full Throttle. He's much more interesting in short stories than in long ones. Looking forward to both of them. I don't know if I'm Joe Hill that I necessarily want to be told I'm more interesting in short stories than in long ones, but both Silent and Hill represented in both books. Okay, now we move forward a little more. June 15th, Blue Box puts up a tweet. Now, this tweet is gone. You can't find this anymore except using, like, Wayback Machine. And it reads, "Guess the name, Abandoned," which is the name of their game, their project that they're working on, equals first letter S, last letter L. Reveal closing in, hashtag PS5, hashtag exclusive. First letter S, last letter L.
Super Monkey Ball.
Very good, Jason. I think you have decoded it. I think you have decoded it right there. So, yeah. Now, there are a lot of other things that the internet has gone tinfoil crazy on this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
And pulled a bunch of, like, really small and vague, stupid stuff. But there was an Instagram post from Hideo Kojima where he appeared to be holding up a blue box. And at 49 seconds in Abandoned's April teaser trailer, the letters P and T are graffitied into some rocks. Of course, possibly referencing the previous demo back on the PlayStation 4 PT, or it's PlayStation 3 now. Oh my God. It is PlayStation 3, isn't it?
No, PlayStation 4.
Was it 4? I don't know. It's been so long
It's
ago.
on 4 because I have it right there across the room from me.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I still have it installed.
Nice. So, is Blue Box actually a front for Kojima, who, let's be honest, is not above flat out lying to build hype for things? We've seen the dumber side of things where he came out with, bandages all over his face. And then we've seen some really oddball stuff with Death Stranding as it was going on there. This didn't get any better, right? Blue Box. Blue Box.
No, let's not get them involved.
Yeah, let's not get them involved. Blue Box did try to come out and say, it's not us. We don't have anything to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of different times. But then they kept doing stupid stuff. Okay? Like, they did put up another thing on social media. Company fact, blue doesn't refer to the color, it refers to something else. Can you guess it? Tweeted on June 17th. So the rumors start building. Jeff Keighley gets asked about it on Twitter. He's vague as all hell, saying, hey, I'm going to get to see what they're working on. I think you're going to be very excited in a whole video. Talking about Hassan, the leader at Blue Box. He says Hassan's been really eager, I think, to share more with you in the coming months, so stay tuned to my Twitter. I think there's more to share on that game soon, and we'll all find out together. He then did another tweet where he said, I honestly don't think this is what you guys think it is. And then, of course, we got to get Jason Schreier on the case, Jason.
Absolutely.
That's the man you put on the case. And so Jason Schreier starts kind of digging into it on his social media. I'm just catching up on the abandoned Hideo Kojima, Silent Hill, ARG conspiracy, and it's truly incredible. I personally couldn't care less about Silent Hill, but I sure do hope this is real. He did some more investigation into Blue Box, the company. And he said, after several hours going down the rabbit hole, I'm no longer 100% convinced it's Kojima. Could very well be someone crafting all these coincidences to build buzz. And he went and cited like Blue Box as a number of previous projects that were tried to be crowdfunded. They didn't really work out. On June 18th, Blue Box answered their blue question, saying the correct answer is best level user experience. It stands for unique gameplay interactions with unparalleled user experiences. Okay. Are you with me so far? Are you with
we'll
me
keep going
so
anyway.
far?
Sort of.
Because then Hassan had to, and I apologize if I mispronounced this, Kamaran, the game director at Blue Box for Abandon, did come out and put up a video on the 22nd of June on their Twitter saying, you know, basically, I'm real. I'm a real person. I am here. He says, I just wanted to do a really quick video to show myself that I am a real person and I'm not really associated with Hideo Kojima. I'm not an actor. I'm not working on Silent Hill.
That sounds like something an actor would say.
Yeah. I'll take things somebody working for Hideo Kojima would say for 500. Yeah, exactly, Mad Martha. I exist. I'm a person. I exist.
I am not a number.
And they said, we're going to release an app that is basically an interactive trailer for Abandoned on June 25th. And you'll see that, you know, we don't have anything to do with this, with Silent Hill. That got delayed.
Of course.
Yeah. That got delayed. So yesterday said, sorry, it's just not ready. We're going to reveal this thing in August when we already have a trailer set to release. So we'll just release them simultaneously in August. Now, there are a whole slew of other small, really like tangential things that I think people are, you know, stretching to make work here. Including like Demon Blood showing up in a number of Twitters. So this guy played a game that isn't in the PS Store that's using Siren Head as an image. Yeah, stuff like that. So it just keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. And that's where we're kind of at today. So Jason, taking it all, putting it all together, what are your thoughts? And then give me your final verdict. One, are we going to see a Silent Hill? That's rumors we've been talking about on this show for months now. And two, is Blue Box a front/partner/whatever with Kojima Productions working on said Silent Hill?
First, I think, yes, we will see a Silent Hill announcement, whatever, at some point. I would guess if it's going to happen, because we know Kojima and Jeff Keighley are such good pals, maybe at the Game Awards in November, his real showdown there, or the whatever the is that what do they call is that what they just call it, the Game Awards?
The Game Awards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what it would be then. I think it's going to be then, if any time, because he and like other sources have kind of indicated that we've talked about this on various other shows before, and he had a little tweet and other little nods and so forth. I think he is working on something like that, and I think that will happen at some point. Possibly by around then.
Okay, so you say so far, you say yes to Silent Hill and yes, Kojima is involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say yes to both.
Blue Box.
For the other part, I think Jason Schreier actually summed this up perfectly. He said in the tweet, is the ultimate question, is this secretly a Hideo Kojima production or an indie developer who promised the world, they're talking about the whole shebang of everything, or an indie developer who promised the world, got caught up in a whirlwind of coincidences and conspiracies, and may now be scrambling to figure out what to do next. And I lean more towards the second part of that. Because, yeah, the biggest coincidence that I saw when I saw it on one of the articles you linked to me was that Hideo and Karaman are Japanese and Turkish for the same word.
Yeah.
They're both the same for hero. And I was like, what? Like, if I was going to invent a random person, sure, I'd be clever and give that. I'd call him, I'm not Jason Winter. I'd call him, Ice or Cold or something like whatever, or something like that in a different language or whatever. So, yeah, that's how I'd be clever about it. But, yeah, I sort of think, because you talked about how one of the other things Jason Schreier talks about is this guy has mysterious funders, but he's not talking about, but they're talking about how they're going to have these amazing qualities in their videos, in their game or whatever. And I looked at their old Kickstarter for the game they tried to put out in 2015. which first of all was the first chapter of that, according to that, was called Abandoned. So possibly there's a little link there that he's taking that part of it and putting it into the new game.
And that happens sometimes, right?
Sure,
You're working
sure.
on a game and you end up with like the first 2 levels is a really better idea than the entire
Mhm.
frickin' game.
Because considering he wanted like what was it, $20,000 and got like 200 or something like that. So yeah, or euros rather, but still.
So
Obviously
missed
didn't do
by
that
a little
well.
bit.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
the-
look at the
just the-
stretch goals they have, and they're all in euros as well. The stretch goals are 10,000 mocap, 20,000 improved AI, 30,000 Project Morpheus, improved Oculus Rift, 45,000 improved mocap, and I'm like, you're trying to get this stuff for an extra 10 grand? Like you're 10
Don't
grand
ask
is-
me how I know this, but you can get decent, not like AAA, EA, or Activision Blizzard, or whatever, those big financial dogs, but you could get mocap, suit, and software
Okay.
and camera for $2,500.
But then you have to pay the actors too, and they have to implement it in your game.
Don't
and
ask me
whatnot,
how I
and
know that, and I know that is the
Sure.
current price on the market.
Yeah, I'm just pointing
Because
out that
maybe this past Friday or Thursday or Friday, I was like, I wonder how much a motion capture suit was. And maybe I should get one for no freaking reason whatsoever. I'm not working like on a game where I'm working on a game, but not one where I need mocap. But yeah, I was like, $2,500.
anyway, the point I'm trying to make is he seems optimistic. This Cardaman guy, and I think that's kind of rolled into it. I think he thought, I'll piggyback on this, get a little extra, and it'll be really cool. And oh God, what has happened?
All right.
I saw someone else compare him to Sean Murray and some other thing in terms of like hyping things up. So I'm like, yeah, I can maybe see that a little bit. So yeah, that's where I think it lies. I think it is more in the sense that he took the tiger by the tail and is getting bit by it a little bit, if you want to put it that way.
Yad, where do you sit in there? Do we see Silent Hill? Is Kojima
Oh,
involved? And
First of
where's
all,
Blue Box?
first of all, are we starting a gaming company? Is that what's going on here?
We are not.
Because
we are not.
we know enough people that know the softwares, but that's
we
besides.
definitely
okay.
do.
Speaking of being way too optimistic, that would be us if we started a game company.
It would be the most
But-
pessimistic game company ever.
Oh
If
yeah, totally.
If I was like, hey, I'm working on a game, I want to bring you all on, we want to help out. Jason, I'd like to have you there. All of a sudden, it'd be the most pessimistic game ever. Like, I would never have to worry about going over budget or anything because Jason would just be like, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not
I
doing
know
that.
some character riggers and some character modelers.
If Byrne needs me to invest in mocap, I'm game. If you want to buy me a fucking mocap suit, you go buy me a mocap suit. I'm not going to stop anybody from doing it. I was like, that is surprisingly affordable.
I believe Faye went to school for background textures.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
Yeah,
I know who to hit up. Don't you worry
Yeah,
about that. Don't you worry about that.
we got the people.
I do the coding and that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good. Anyway, back to what we're talking
But yeah.
about.
Back to Silent Hill.
Next stream,
Um,
I'm in a mocap suit. Anyway, go ahead, Yad.
So I think Sony needs to do something with Silent Hill as a exclusive. So I think they're gonna work something out eventually. Might not be this year, might be next year, might be when PS5s are actually available. Like according to Endgame, I think Avengers Endgame, I think it was 2025, 2026 or something like that. That will be available to everyone. But yeah, I think there will eventually be a Silent Hills out there. It's too ripe an IP not to do something.
All right, is Kojima involved?
Maybe.
Oh,
all-
you
I think-
little wuss.
I think that all depends on Sony.
Look, we've got
If
it all
Sony-
mapped here. Look at the image. We have all the lines.
I
You should be
know
able
you
to
have
answer
it
this
all
question, yes or no.
I know we have it all mapped, but it depends upon if they can hammer out a deal between Kojima and Konami, because there was bad blood there.
Oh, the ton of it, yeah. And
Yeah,
the initial
and-
rumors were that Sony was like divorce attorney there.
Right, and as far as I know, Kojima wasn't the original person that created Silent Hill, right?
No, he was absolutely not. No.
Right,
We're going
so
to
there
talk
is
about that
Silent
person
Hill.
next, actually.
Right, but so there was Silent Hill before Kojima, so there can technically be Silent Hill after Kojima.
All right, so if you're going to do a maybe, you got to give me at least a percentage. Percentage Kojima is involved.
75.
Okay, so
75%.
more in
'Cause he
favor
does
of him.
enjoy
Strong
the
maybe.
series.
So that's a
Yeah,
strong maybe.
yeah,
You're
a
more in
strong maybe,
favor
'cause
of him being involved than not.
Right, right, because he does seem to enjoy the world, the IP, because of how much he put into PT.
Yeah.
Just playing that little bit
Yeah, PT
of
was
what he wanted to
phenomenal.
do. Yeah, he put a lot of heart and soul into that. So strong maybe.
All right, final blue box. Are they involved, or is it just bad circumstances or bad jumping on a PR train and kind of screwing yourself like Jason thinks?
I'm agreeing with Jason there. I think the guy wanted to be mysterious. The fans took it that way, and he went, "Hey, that can build up hype for me," and then went, "Oh my God, what did I do?" So yeah,
All
yeah.
right. I'm going to go with 100% we're going to see a Silent Hill. And I'm even going to go on a limb and say 100% we hear something about it, official announcement-wise, before the end of the year. Jason, I know that also coincides with your scheduling as far as when we would hear something, too. 2, I'm going to go with 100% Kojima is involved. 100%. Now, is he full developing and producing and all that stuff like he's done with Metal Gear Solid or with I don't know, but he's 100% involved in a not trivial way. He will be involved in a pretty big way. On the third front, if Blue Box has nothing to do with Silent Hill and Kojima Productions and any project thereof, then honestly, you've done it to yourself because you done screwed up. I actually hope they are not involved because I feel like while I can appreciate clever marketing and clever hype building, and Kojima's usually been pretty good at it with a few gaffes here and there that were kind of hokey or whatever, I feel like when you start downright lying, you're not building hype. And now all these people have come out and said, no, they're not involved. No, we're not working together. No. Like, if you are, then there just should have been no reply. Not trying to come out and say, nope, we're not.
No, we're not.
Yeah, right. Wink, 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 nudge, nudge.
To be mysterious is
Yeah.
the thing. They still want to be mysterious and build hype for their game.
Right. And I can
In a
appreciate Blue
mysterious
Box
way.
trying to jump on a little bit of a hype train for a smaller company. You know, you see that all the time, right?
Mhm.
I can't begrudge them that, but it doesn't always work. So I'm going to go with I hope they're not involved. Only because I have a problem with hype becoming flat-out lies and then, haha, surprise. That
Right.
doesn't feel great. So we shall see. And I'm sure Jason has recorded all of our predictions, sure to go wrong,
course.
so that on a future show we can be told exactly how dumb we were, particularly me. Meanwhile, in other Silent Hills, just in case you haven't been keeping an eye on key players in the Silent Hill franchise, which maybe you haven't, it has been a while, there is a little bit of hubbub coming out of Kichiro Toyama, who is the creator of Silent Hill, and a company that he is working with called Boca Game Studios, and they're making a game called Focus. And I'm showing you a little bit of like a teaser thing that they put up. There really isn't a whole lot on this one yet.
There's your mocap.
Yeah, there's mocap. There's my mocap. That's why
That's actually Mike under all that.
It is.
He
It
shot
is.
this weekend,
It's
yeah.
100% me. 100% me. Now, this is a horror type experience. We don't know exactly what, but the team is saying that the new horror project will mess with the player's mind. It will be choice-driven in a way that will challenge the player to second-guess their actions, especially when weighing in the sacrifice system. Every consequence is designed to make the player feel it both emotionally and narratively. The impact will be profound and a constant force that players of this adventure will feel every step of the way. So this feels like more in the like a psychological vein than the action-y vein of a Silent Hill or a Resident Evil. but it is from the original creator of Silent Hill, Jason. So you remotely interested? You're not really a Silent Hill guy, but does maybe going a little more psychologically do it for you?
When they talk about having consequences that are going to make them be important and all that sort of thing, I think of what are they called? Dark Pictures. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, the Dark Pictures anthology. I think it is Dark something anthology.
Dark something anthology. Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, Dark Pictures anthology. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, that's maybe what I think of. That's maybe going to be along that line with a very strong narrative feel to it, and with choices that matter and all that, and that sort of thing. That could be something I could get more into. I like those kind of like decision-making games more so than just the go around and whack shoot zombies kind of stuff. So if it's like that,
Mad Martha says, feel, i.e., you won't see anything. It's easier to draw an enemy you don't see.
We were talking. If there's one thing I know about Silent Hill, it's that everything is misty.
Everything's foggy.
So, yeah,
Nothing but mist.
You never see anything. So yeah, maybe that's how it's going to be. But yeah, if it's more along like that, if it is more along the Dark Pictures kind of feel, then it could be something I'd be interested in.
Yad?
It sounds like a game that I'm gonna enjoy watching someone play, but in no way, shape, or form do I want to be playing that.
Yad
myself.
watched every minute of my playthrough of Resident Evil Village.
Yes, which was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely something I'm going to play. I'm a huge Silent Hill fan. So something from the creator of is definitely something I'm going to check out. I will say, since we brought up Dark Pictures Anthology and, Until Dawn and that whole vein genre of games, I enjoyed Until Dawn. I did play it all the way through, I think twice, just to trigger some different endings and see things like that and find out how much your choices really didn't matter. Besides, the wrong choice at the exact only one opportunity to get somebody killed. And then I played what was it? Man of Medan, I think was one of. It was either the first one or the second one of the Dark Pictures.
That was the second one.
It's the second one, and I was hyped for the Dark Pictures anthology, and the first and the second just didn't do it for me. So I don't really. We saw the third one at E3, and I'm not really interested. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm willing to give them a little bit of a flyer just because of who they are. We'll see.
Well, it was E3. Not many things there were very exciting.
True. It has been a pretty busy release week and announcements of release dates week too. Now, I know not all of us have played every single one of these games, but we have been watching streams. We have been doing a little bit of research, looking at other people's reviews and things like that for the things that we have not played ourselves. And if anything we say we want to addend in a week or two after, people have had their hands on things, of course, we'll be back to do that. But, I mean, gentlemen, what we're starting with. You absolutely know what we're starting with. Because this was not a drill, gentlemen. Yesterday was the day. Tamora Hussein's review playing there for your graphical B-roll pleasure, so credit where due. Yesterday was Mario Golf Day. Right here, baby. I streamed it yesterday. We played a bunch of there's like a little RPG / series with your me, teaching you the game, but then going through tournaments and ranking up and stuff like that. In addition to the actual normal game modes as far as golf and battle golf and cross-country golf and all kinds of great stuff. Obviously, I love this. It is getting rated very high. I have gripes. I do have gripes. I will say that Mario Golf probably gets a little bit of a pass on some things when it comes to certain reviewers and maybe a lot of reviewers. Because it's a Mario Golf game. What the hell else do you want from it? I will tell you, some of the textures in this game fucking suck. I mean, some of them are just horrible. If you need to see it, go to my stream when I'm doing yesterday's VOD of the stream, when I'm playing the cross-country portion with my me character, and I'm walking up towards a wall so that I can climb up this cliffside to get to my ball. I mean, it doesn't look good from far away. So imagine what it looks like when your character gets right up on it. It controls just fine. It does everything it's supposed to for golf. Battle golf is a tremendous mode. I can't wait to get into that more. But if I got to give it like a 1 to 10, it's probably only coming in at a 7.5 to an 8. I wanted this to be a 9. I definitely did. There's a lot of cool, clever stuff here. A lot of cool power shots and things like that you're not going to see in, Tiger Woods or the Golf Club, which are tremendous games in their own rights. It is a lot of fun. The racing mode, I'm not too much of a fan of. It's kind of boring. But the battle golf mode is tremendously awesome. That mode alone is worth a gander.
The one we're seeing now in the little arena?
Yeah, in the arena. So there's holes all over the arena.
Yeah.
And when you sink in one, that hole disappears. So anybody that was previously aiming towards that hole now has to start firing in a different direction to go to a different one. And then there's all kinds of power-ups and stuff. That is a really clever and fun game mode for a golf game. And then you can interfere with people's ball and their lie and everything. I like it. I'm a fan of golf games in general. I know Jason is as well. We've played a few of them together through the years. I still to this day hear about that sign that I just clobbered on a stream. This does scratch the itch for me. I do enjoy it. But I feel like there was a little bit of lazy in some design aspects when it comes to the visual fidelity of the game. So I'll give it a 7.5.
Just eat something, poop out an egg, and tail flip it away?
Yes.
That's what Yoshi does. He eats and poops out eggs.
Okay.
Mad Martha only has 2 problems with this game, the Mario bit and the golf bit. So this one might not be for you, Mad Martha. This one might not be for you. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with Mad Martha. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
All right.
I'm with Mad Martha. It looks fun, but Mario and golf don't really do it for me. So
yeah, if you're not into golf, period. Like I don't play golf in real life, but I do enjoy video game golf. That comes from bonding with my dad. We figured out a golf game together that we rented from Far More Entertainment back in the day on the Super Nintendo, and it didn't come with a direction book. So, there's a nostalgia to golf games, even though I'm not a golfer myself. So if you're not into Mario or you're not into golf, then this is a total swing and a miss for you. Totally understandable. What about you, Jason?
So I watched a review, and it might have been this video because it's looking a little familiar, but this is the IGN guy.
I actually don't remember.
Whatever. Anyway, so I watched that video, and he had the exact opposite reaction to you. He liked the racing part, the speed golf, and he hated the arena. And I could see why he hated the arena, being that it's meant that you're supposed to try to avoid people. And I can see how that's not the greatest thing to try to do in an interactive game. So that part of it I get. Even the racing thing, and I watched a streamer for like half an hour earlier today, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of neat. You're running around, you're golfing, but I don't know. It didn't look like it was something that I'd be really that into.
Really?
Like, I don't know.
Really?
I think maybe I just lean more towards a slightly more realistic form of golf. I don't know. I like golf. I like Mario Kart. I don't like kind of the mixture of the two, I guess.
All right. So I'm the only one that liked this one. That's okay. That's all right. Yeah. That's why they make different games. That's why I made it. But you still need to catch up on Mario Tennis, Prismind. I love Mario Tennis. Smash Ace is such a great game. Scarlet Nexus. So this is right here. For the PS5, this is by Bandai Namco. We've been kind of watching this one, mentioning it a few times on the show as we go. Very, very anime combat, anime style combat, kind of in an action-y vein. RPG is absolutely Mad Martha. It is very, very anime. Crazy-ass combat abilities where you're just grabbing parts of the environment and throwing them at your enemies and shit like that. Now, this, I will say I have not gotten a chance to play yet because I baked myself in the sun all day today doing yard work.
You're Scarlet.
I'm going to be. Well, you can't see it in the camera. I'm looking forward to playing this, though, and we will be streaming this on Ready Check Radio. This will probably be our Wednesday stream at 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, since Monday we do Final Fantasy trading card game stuff. So if you want to check it out, I'll be starting it brand new on Wednesday. I have watched reviews for it, though, and it is kind of exactly what I was worried about when we talked about it. I like Code Vein and stuff like that, so I was looking forward to this one. I have a feeling, and we've talked about this in the past, that it was going to be very, very cool combat, and then probably a very shallow pool as far as like story and stuff like that goes. And that seems to be the general consensus of reviews. I'm going to withhold an opinion on it just because I haven't had my hands on it yet, and I'm going to. I would give you an opinion if I didn't intend to touch it, but we'll see on Wednesday from me. If you want to get some early impressions, come hang out with us 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio. What do you got for this one, Jason?
The review I read said the story was surprisingly good.
Really? All right. Well, hey, mate. Hopefully, I'll be surprised.
I watched someone play it for a while. I watched a video or watched a stream of somebody, and it did look pretty cool. The combat looked really neat and stylish. I liked being able to telekinetically grab stuff and toss them at the enemies, which was kind of bad when the guy was fighting a boss and they did that to him. So, yeah. But of the 3 games we were going to talk about here, this is the one that I think looks the coolest to me. The one I'd be most likely to try out.
Yad? This has got to be right up your alley as far as like presentation and art style, because it is tremendous on those fronts.
Yeah. The art style looks really nice. I watched a little bit of some reviews on it, and it looks like a lot of fun. And I didn't really get that into the story, but because it was just reviews, it wasn't anything like a playthrough or anything like that. So, but the playstyle looked neat. The moves that you can do and things like that looked awesome. The art style, the models and stuff looked really good. If I had a PlayStation 5, sure, yeah, I'd get it
well,
right
it's
away.
available for others. Yeah, I bought it on the PS5 because why not?
Okay.
If I have the 5, I might as well.
You got that thing.
Exactly. Yeah, but it is available on other platforms too, including the PlayStation 4, I believe.
Okay. So yeah, I might check it out later.
Quick double check to make sure that the PS4, PS4 version is a thing. It is a thing.
All right. Yeah.
You'll just watch the anime. All right, fair enough, Ninja.
We'll talk about other games that are new on PS4 later.
Okay. So generally pretty positive, unless you just didn't like Mario or golf, then you were out on that one. But now we get to...
Wow. You're just building up already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. Credit to ACG Carrick on YouTube, one of my favorite YouTube video game reviewers. Please go check it out. This is actually a snippet from a video after he did his review of Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. This is like a 3-minute video of just like showcasing some of the goofy in the game. So when you see bodies just sliding off a cliff like that, there you go. So
that's not our D&D Dark Alliance.
Well, he's making references to other games.
Okay, I see.
It's like a 3-minute video of him talking about like what can you do as a player when these things come out incomplete. And he does make the Mass Effect Andromeda comparison and some other comparisons.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I've actually played this one too via Game Pass, so I did not spend a dime for it. Thank God. And everybody that watches this show every week knows that I was pretty excited about that, about Dark Alliance. I liked the multiplayer aspect. I look forward to like, hey, Jason, let's go, kill some shit. Do you want to be, who do you want to be? Because I'm going to be Drizzt, so you got to pick somebody else.
Edgelord.
Unfortunately, there is some minor fun to be had here if you are playing in a group. There are some things going on with different bosses and stuff like that it can be fun. Don't play it alone. Don't play it. You can, but don't. And I think IGN's review said that too. Don't. Just don't. The bosses they just become absolute nightmares when you're alone, and they can just solely focus on you. The combat is just not impactful. The sound design on combat is just a little off. Some things just don't feel as strong or as swingy as they should. Not to mention the number of times I have comboed myself right off a cliff is just absolutely staggering. The way I'm like swinging at an enemy and all of a sudden I slide and I can't break the animation and I just slide straight off a cliff. I wanted to like this. I wanted to like this.
There might be some pathing issues going on, is what you're saying.
I wanted to like this an awful lot. It needs some work. It needs some time. It needs some patches. There is fun to be had there. It is grind out and get some loot. I like that type of stuff, but I can't recommend this one right now. Maybe like in a 6 month after a few patches type thing, we can talk. Play it on Game Pass. If you don't have Game Pass, skip it, and maybe look at it 6 or 8 months and see if they've done anything with it or if they've abandoned it. Kind of rough. Just flat out feels incomplete to me, Jason.
My vote is abandoned. That's where it'll be in 6 to 8
You think?
months.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly possible.
I watched a couple hours of a streamer playing it, and to be honest, I didn't think it was the complete pile of crap that I thought it might be. But it just wasn't anything exciting about it. Like I watched them, they went around, they killed stuff, they hit things. One of the things I saw and someone mentioning is like, why is there no wizard in this game? Why is there no magic user?
Right.
3 melee guys and an archer. It's like, well, why not D&D? Have a wizard slinging spells, or even a cleric doing stuff or whatever. But
that
no,
is kind of odd.
It just looked blah.
Yeah.
Playable, decent. He had a group, so he had 4 people, so they're having fun, kind of. But yeah, I agree. I just wouldn't recommend it.
There's definitely some fun to abandoned.
No, we just talked about that.
Blue Box? Did Blue Box do this game too?
Oh my God, there we go.
Silent Hill's confirmed right here. You heard it on this show. There is some fun to be had, just wailing away on enemies with some friends, but not enough in my case. Yod, I don't. Yod, do you have Game Pass? I know Jason doesn't. Do you?
I do not.
You do not either. Okay,
Pass.
so you haven't checked this out, I assume.
Nope. Yeah. Well,
it's only $40 if you want to go.
I read the reviews, so no. It does really seem like if you're really into that story
and Driss,
sure.
The story isn't that great either. It's just like run of the mill generic.
Like
D&D
I said,
story.
Really into that story, that world. The I can't remember which one Dark Alliance comes from.
Probably
Icewind Dale.
Neverwinter.
Yeah, the Icewind Dale world.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you're really into that, then take a look at it. But like you said, if you have Game Pass.
Yeah, 100%.
If not, wait 6 months down the line if they decide to fix it. If not, pick up Game Pass, I guess.
Yeah, well, the story in this game focuses around the battles of Icewind Dale.
Right.
So if you like that particular storyline, yeah, Dark Alliance is from the Forgotten Realms, but the storyline in this game is specific to around Icewind Dale and the Crystal and all that stuff.
Right, but Forgotten Realms has a really, really big following.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
if you're into that, yeah.
Here we go. How about let's do here comes a release date. Here comes a release date. We've talked about things that have released. Here comes a release date for everybody. Aliens Fireteam. Oh, excuse me.
Wait.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I did not mean to mislabel this game. Aliens Fireteam Elite. Now, they have changed the name to give you that elite at the end of it. Is going to be released on August 24th. So 2 months for that. They're going right up after New World. I mean, they're going right after New World. So
sure
if exactly. If you want to get into fire teams of 3 or AI teammates if you need to as Colonial Marines and go take on a PvE adventure set 23 years after the original film trilogy, why we're even pretending Alien 3 was a thing is beyond me at this point. And I'm a huge Alien fan, but yeah. So if you want to check that out, that will be coming out August 24th. I'm still looking mildly forward to this one. tempered because it's aliens, and I've gotten burnt 5 out of the last 6 times. Isolation was good, and that was about it. You can pre-order the game now. I think it's like $40 if you want the basic version of it. And people just commented on a few episodes ago, guys, that yes, they do on YouTube. We have comments. By all means, put them there. Helps the algorithm. Anyway, and we'd like to hear from you. They do want to see the 3 of us play this. They do want to see during a show. They do want to see the 3 of us play Rainbow Six. What is it? Extraction. Previously Quarantine. They do want to see us play that as well on a show. So whichever ones that you guys are going to buy, let me know. We'll make that happen. If any of them, I can't make them buy them, gang, and I wouldn't ask them to do that. If they want to buy them and we'll play together, great.
But you viewers can by donating to the channel.
The donation button is live now, actually. Nobody knows that because I left it off while we started the channel. I didn't want anybody clicking donate on ReadyCheckRadio.com with like no shows up. It's been like 6 months now. We've got a very consistent schedule. I felt okay turning that button on. So that is on now, if you feel so inclined. But really, if you just take a minute to follow all the socials, we'll love you enough for that too. Phil Spencer had an awful lot to say this week on the Xbox front. So first off, I'm just going to give you all 3 of these, and you guys can give me your general take on them. So first off, okay. Phil Spencer is saying, hey, Fable, upcoming Fable game is in good hands. Very happy with it. And can't wait for everybody to see it. He says, the only thing I can really say about Fable is seeing the pedigree of the team and Playground and where they set the bar for themselves in building a game. I think that showed with the Forza Horizon 5 preview they had. I think people should just take confidence in studio director Gavin Rayburn and the team there that have the same level of focus on doing something amazing with an IP that we know is really important to Xbox fans. So we can't wait to get to show more, but that team is just amazing. He also went in separate interviews to say, we do still want to do another Killer Instinct thing, but not right now. We need to find the right team. And on the Game Pass side of things, just a little FYI, the cloud version of Game Pass is getting a boost. So if you play the Game Pass on mobile, you should start seeing even better performance than you already do. Phil Spencer's had a pretty busy week, Jason.
This section could have been titled Marketing Guy Says Good Things About His Company.
You're right.
I mean, that's about what it is. The Fable thing, I'm like, does a developer that makes a cool car racing game necessarily make a good RPG?
Yeah, but they also don't necessarily make a bad RPG either.
Well, no, but I don't look at one and say the other like clearly. If on the other side, if Square Enix was going to make a racing game, would I feel like that's going to be awesome? Well,
Chocobo's Racing was great.
Well, I mean, like a realistic racing game. You know what I mean?
No, Chocobo Racing is realistic. Shut up.
Sure.
Well,
what are you comparing it to? Have you ever raced a Chocobo in your real life? Shut up.
Yeah, I have,
it's
actually,
real.
many times.
It's
I've
real.
played golf.
Since we're going with Fable right now, the problem I see is, well, yes, the company can do a realistic racing game. So yes, they're invested in graphics. It will look really pretty. But does anybody there understand the IP? Do they understand the history of the story in Fable? And where to go
I mean, arguably,
with
Fable 3, at least for me, I don't know what your opinions of it are, but Fable 3 fell flat for me.
Right. It says here the lead designer is the chief designer of Fable is a level designer for Grand Theft Auto 5. So clearly the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is gonna be sweet. This is gonna be the best game ever.
The quest designer is a guy who previously worked on the Borderlands franchise. So that's kind of in a similar vein. So yeah.
But you look at like the new Star Trek movies, for instance, where the new Star Trek TV shows even, where the people in charge of it don't understand the IP. They don't understand what they're working with, so they don't pay homage to what has come before.
Gene's been dead for 30 years. Nobody understands it anymore.
But regardless of that fact, it's the IPs
even
are...
Gene's son is just like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, regardless of that fact, the IPs are living, breathing things, and you have to kind of tap into that. And if you don't understand where it's coming from, you get the manure that's been released now. And so even if it looks pretty, it might not be a good direction to take it.
Fable 3
You need
disappointed
those
me to
story
the
people.
point that I have like zero hype for this new Fable. I will watch it, and
there
if it
you
looks
go.
good, I will pick it up. Yeah, sure. But it's not a day one for me until after I've seen some reviews or anything
Right,
like that.
but there you go. Obviously, the Fable 3 writers and creators didn't quite understand where to go with it.
Yeah, and maybe
Or
that's just
it
me.
could be just you.
What,
Yeah, it could be just you.
I don't know.
You know?
Let's go see what it is on Metacritic. I have no idea. How's Fable 3? 80 from critics, 6.6 from users. And that's on the Xbox 360. It just happened to be the one that I clicked first. On the PC, 5.5 from users. So it kind of got worse. Yeah. So I'm not the only one. Yay!
There you go. So,
Cyberpunk tweeted this week. Here's your freaking weekly reminder that's still a thing. It's now back on the PlayStation Store. Yay! You can play
but
the game.
But is it a game yet?
You can play the game on
yet?
PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5. Additionally, a free next-gen upgrade will be available for all owners of the PS4 version of Cyberpunk 2077 in the second half of 2021. They go on in this tweet to say, users may continue to experience some performance issues with the PS4 edition, while we continue to improve stability across all platforms. The PS4 Pro and PS5 versions of the game will provide the best experience on PlayStation. Now, they tweeted that as two separate tweets. But in the press release, that second tweet that I just read you, recommending the PS4 Pro or the PS5 as the preferred methods of play, that had an asterisk from the initial announcement, with an asterisk leading to that. And the best tweet reply I saw to that was, that asterisk is doing some really heavy lifting.
That asterisk is thick.
Yeah. That asterisk,
THICC.
yeah, it's got guns. That asterisk has got guns.
I like big asterisks, and I cannot lie.
So yeah, if you want to, it's there. This is still one that is sitting in my Steam library, waiting for the all clear before I hop back into it. Last two pieces here, and then we will jump to our Game of the Week segment. Yod, of course, it wouldn't be a show if Yod didn't find a way to say Mass Effect. So what the hell do you want to talk about here?
So apparently Netflix is going to be allowed to produce a Mass Effect TV show. I guess it is supposed to be animated. They previously, before Mass Effect 3, they did release a Mass Effect animated film which featured one of the characters from Mass Effect 3 in it, and it kind of fell flat. This particular TV series they're looking at apparently does not deal directly with Shepard or her crew from Mass Effect, but deals with something that's happening along the same timeline as the original 3 Mass Effects. So I guess it could be good. Maybe.
You sound a little apprehensive.
Yeah, because when you're dealing with an IP that has a living, breathing fan base that has made so many stories and has invested so much time into it, you have to be very careful with where you go.
Like with Andromeda.
Like with Andromeda. Like with the first animated feature they did.
Like with Fable 3.
Like Fable 3. Like Star Trek stuff.
Like Dark Alliance.
Right, like Dark Alliance. If you don't do it correctly, it's gonna fail miserably. Even if you are looking to do it in a certain way where you're attracting new fans, which you should attract new fans, or else the fandom can't grow. But you can't forget about your existing fans while you're at it, because they're gonna have something to say about it. And if you're not dealing with Shepard, you got to give them a character that they're gonna enjoy.
Well, about that, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're probably going to go on about that. Go ahead.
There's also something in the article about a choose your own adventure thing. I'm not
That's how you get a
exactly
character
sure.
people enjoy.
But yeah, it's some weird feature. I don't know how you adapt that onto a TV series with choosing, where the story's going. Unless you're gonna do something like way back in the day with the Jason Todd Robin and Batman, where you call in to see if they kill him or not. Yeah, so that's what that is. What do you guys think?
I don't care.
That's the part that
You
just
know,
seems, I could be interested in this, but that part about it makes me really wonder how they're going to do it. It says there the authors are to focus on interactive adventure. So at the beginning, the viewers/players will choose the gender, appearance, and class of the character.
exactly.
And during the story, we have to make many
What are
difficult
we going to
decisions that will
Twitter
affect the
vote?
events.
Is that is it going to be a
Yeah,
Twitter
that's
poll?
the first question. How does that go? And the second is, how do you do that? Do they have like both a male and a female voice actor lined up? And if it's selected male, they go to the woman like, "Sorry, honey, sorry, you're out, you're out."
Yeah, you're
Well, I mean,
fired.
they
We're
could
gonna get
just
the guy,
You're
and then
fired.
appearance. Like,
Twitter
go to the
said
animators.
no.
Look, I know you. Go to the animators. Look, I know you made the guy with brown hair, but we wanted to be blonde instead, or whatever. So it's like,
right.
and the class, like that's the part that really gets me, like, because a sniper, warrior or soldier character is going to act differently than a
Right.
infiltrator with biotics. So it's like that completely changed up the entire story.
It changes their
And
entire
so
ability set
every
for the
combat,
show.
every combat scene.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Which,
how do you do that?
which is part of the reason why I'm a little hesitant here.
Yeah,
Like,
We shall see.
yeah.
Last one on this. We talked about this on the Relic Grind on Thursday in a lot more detail than we will here. So if you want Tarkoth, Tarkoth, Kronos, or my own opinions on this in depth, you can check it out on the Relic Grind that we just posted this past Thursday. But Jason did want to remind everybody that, hey, look, Final Fantasy IX is getting an animated series. Maybe. I mean, probably, but maybe.
Yeah, well, they said begin production by the end of 2021 or beginning of 22. Didn't say when it's going to be out or how long it's going to be. And they're aiming at 8 to 13-year-olds. An animated series
Yeah.
would be 8 to 13-year-olds, which would be this would be a game older than them, to use Torchwick's phrasing. Like twice, like 2 or 3 times as old. It came out 99. Yeah, it was 9999, I think, for Final Fantasy IX. So 22 years ago. You're going with a 22-year-old video game. It has that kind of cartoony kind of young
I was gonna
player
say,
feel
I think
to it,
it's
so
more
get
story.
it.
Like because if you were gonna market something to try and get younger people into your IP, you certainly aren't taking, Final Fantasy VII.
No.
There's some very mature stuff in there. Final Fantasy VIII arguably got even more mature as far as storylines and key beats. 9
Sure.
had some double entendre moments. But wasn't.
You can write those out.
Well, yeah. The only thing I'm concerned is like the Vivi storyline is pretty dark and pretty sad, particularly for 8 to 13-year-olds.
Isn't he like shunned out of his village or something like that?
No, he finds out
No?
he's created.
Oh, that's right,
He's
that's
just
right,
mass
yeah.
produced, and he has a stupid short lifespan too. So yeah, I mean that is a bit. But so I can understand why you go with this one. We don't know if it's confirmed yet, by the way. Square Enix hasn't said anything about it. We've just heard that Cyber Group Studios, a Paris, France-based company, is reporting that they're in co-development and co-production with Square Enix to do this series. It'll go into production later this year, early next year, and they'll be doing the marketing and the merchandising and all that stuff. But Square Enix hasn't said, anything officially. But this is an oddly specific leak if it's fake. I would be stunned if it's fake. The only thing I would say that I said on Relic Grind, so I'll bring this one point to this show for me, is this is not marketed to us. This is not marketed to the players of Final Fantasy. I'm going to watch it, but I don't expect to enjoy it to like the degree I enjoyed the Castlevania animated series.
Well,
because
no,
this is not playing to that audience. This is playing to, my younger kids who have never played these games, and let's get them into the Final Fantasy franchise. I think it could be good, but I don't expect like huge adult storylines. I expect to enjoy this the way I do like certain episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants, right?
The other thing is, are they aiming it at 8 to 13-year-old Western audience or 8 to 13-year-old Asian audience? Because there is a difference.
It's a French studio.
It's a French studio, so I would assume Western.
Western.
Yeah, because then it's going to be a little simpler, and a little more younger audience, Western wise for our sensibilities. But like a lot of the animes that are aimed at younger children are really big hits with the older crowd over in Western audiences because, well, they show their younger viewers a lot more than we do over here.
Yep, because we're
So-
prudes. We're prudes. Let's slide
Yeah,
over
but I mean-
and do games of the week. I should just go first. I should just go ahead and get this out of the way. I
Dark
definitely,
Alliance, right?
yeah, I definitely don't have Mad Martha's vote this week. That's for sure. But if you're like me, boom, Mario Golf, Super Rush. That's my game of the week. It's just a blast. I just wish it was a little better done visually in some regards. But other than that, I love it. That is my recommendation for game of the week. We're all going to give you one. You let us know in the comments on YouTube or on ReadyCheckRadio.com, RAIDEO, who gave the best recommendation. Doesn't have to be a new game. Could be something that we played 30 years ago. Whatever. Mine is Mario Golf. Yad.
I am actually going the older game route. I am going to say Silent Hill 3
Oh,
because that was the one I liked the most out of them, and I wasn't living in a creepy house at the time when I played it.
yeah,
the
where the
soundtrack was
floor
also
didn't
pretty good.
connect to the walls.
Right, where the floor didn't
even
connect
was
to the
that?
walls. But yeah, Silent Hill 3.
Jason.
Well, you might remember a few months ago, I got the 3-pack of Steam games that taught you how to read Japanese characters.
I
and the
bought those
hiragana
too,
one
based on your
them. Yeah, you did.
recommendation. Yes.
You bought those, yeah. I don't think you've played them yet, though.
I have
but-
not. I have not had a
Yeah,
chance to.
well, I've gotten to the second one now. Learn Japanese to survive katakana war. So I'm playing that, and I'm about maybe 2/3 of the way through that, learning all my katakana so I can read. We've actually got the Kingdom Hearts Ultimania book from Japan. And eventually, I'm going to try and read through as much of that as I can. And it's mostly hiragana and katakana with a little kanji thrown in. So hopefully, I can get through good chunks of that. At least.
Why? The Kingdom Hearts Ultimania storyline is just, it might as well be in Japanese. Oh, wait a minute.
Never-
Wait a minute. It is in Japanese, right? Yeah. Still not, the storyline's still not going to make sense.
Might. You
Still
never
not gonna
know.
make
I've
sense.
played all the games.
Mad Martha,
almost
votes in
get
chat
to it.
don't count. You got to comment on YouTube or on the site. So, ha. Prismine, your vote in chat doesn't
Same.
count. Ha.
No, they count. They totally count.
No, they don't count. I don't care who they're voting for. I didn't even look and see who they're voting for. They could be voting for me, and I'm telling them they're totally both voting for Jason.
They are.
Whatever. Let us know in the comments who wins. And let us know your thoughts on Silent Hill, Kojima, Blue Box, and everything else we talked about today. We, of course, will be back next week right here on Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio with another episode of Gaming Gumbo. Don't forget to check out our other two shows, Snowbound and The Relic Grind, based on Blizzard and Square Enix, respectively, on Tuesdays and Thursdays in that order, also at 7 p.m. And take a look down below for all the streamers, including myself and all the other volunteer streamers that stream during the show. No Torchwick after the show today. He's at the beach with his grandparents. So, yeah, there you go. I'm the only one not at the beach. Everybody's gone. I just take care of dogs and do yard work. Oh, and do this show, which I'll be back next Saturday to do. Until then, Yad, where can everybody find you?
Yad Artworks on Twitter, Yad Artworks on Facebook, right here on Gaming Gumbo.
Jason.
I'm on Twitter at Winter Informal, streaming at twitch.tv/JasonWinter.
I gotta sneeze. Mike Byrne, follow me, Magic Man 1. But more importantly, follow at RC Radio, RAIDEO on Twitter. We'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Stay safe. We'll see you on the servers. Later.